now that we are on YouTube, we're running into some of the people that are also on YouTube, and it's different when you do a podcast. There's no comment section directly below the podcast, right? So on YouTube, there definitely is. You have been doing a few of your Geo Talk episodes where people can, no, not TED Talk, where people can go in and then comment on your point about influencers, whether or not they're good for the hobby, whatever your take is on that. I find that I don't really care if people don't like it.
I enjoy, like last night.
I thought I was going to care more, though. I thought I was going to be like really upset, but I've gotten to the point where I feel so established, I know for a fact that there's an audience that appreciates and likes the things that we do and talk about and joke about, that the little voices out there that may say something different, I don't know. It doesn't bother me anymore. And it feels kind of good because I didn't think I'd get to that point. I thought I was always going to be bothered by that.
You're a sensitive man.
I care. I got a big heart. Some say too big. The doctors specifically. Go ahead.
Can a big heart kill you, or is it just the attack of the heart?
Oh, absolutely it can. Yeah, you don't want a big heart, bro. Yeah. Trust me. Not this puppy.
I mean, you know where my money is on that whole situation. Here's the thing, because if it's going to be a terrible event, somebody should profit. I'm going to give 10% of that to your kid.
Wow. You're...
to your point, though, I actually like the fact that we have live chat on YouTube because it is like the dissenting voices. I enjoy, especially guys who are
I don't understand why you like dissenting voices. Like, I get
differing opinions.
Yes, okay, that I get. Yeah,
I'm kind of in favor of it. I don't know. It also is, to me, it's a good way to keep things in check because there are certain things, just because of your knowledge level, you can't check me on, right? Certain card things, other things you could talk circles around me, and I can't check you because I don't know. But it can be very easy on here for me to get in a vacuum of going on a filibuster, and you do a good job trying to guide the discussion, but it's like, okay, some of these you just don't know enough to really push back on.
Call out. Yeah.
On YouTube, people have no issue. Like, there's a lot of guys in there with as much, if not more, knowledge than me who will push back. I don't mind it. I
thought you would dislike that because of the fact that often here you get to say whatever you want, and it's true because no one can say it's not true. You know?
No, I like both. Don't get me wrong. If I'm just on a thing and I just want to get my whole thought A to Z out and just like express the whole thing,
yes,
I don't mind doing that. But I don't hate either. Like last night we talked about influencers. I think it's a mostly made up and useless term. Overrated, doesn't mean as much as most people think. Got a lot of pushback in the chat. Fine. But I also think it's cool when guys can disagree and it's like, that's it. It's like, so what? I can still appreciate what somebody does. Like if somebody entertains me, I'll still watch it even if I don't agree with a single thing they say. I just like to be entertained.
I think I've asked this before. I would love to know who listens to the podcast who has no other affiliation with other, I don't like to think of us as that term, influencers, but I guess we are in some sense because we have social media. I mean, is social media, does that mean you're an influencer? If you put out like a news or entertainment show, does that mean you're an influencer? I don't even know anymore.
Influencer in the context that it's, at least in my interpretation of it, is generally, hey, this guy, I talked about it last night too, Jeff Wilson, sports card investor.
Sure.
And again, people hate this. He has gone out of his way to be kind to us anytime we've met him.
Yeah.
That's why I'm probably easier on him now than I was. But the other thing is he's just changed his tune. They don't do the stupid buy-sell thing anymore. The top 5, the hot buys. I thought that was horrible for the hobby.
Yeah.
But he was influencing new people's spending patterns. My whole point, though, was, so yeah, some guys can come in brand new and get influenced. Hey, this is a great buy, and they'll go buy it. I don't have a lot of sympathy or concern because, honestly, people who are that gullible and just dumb with their money, they're going to blow it anyways. If they're not going to come in and listen to someone like him say top 5, again, a year and a half, 2 years ago, and just go buy something blindly, these were the same people who were going to go refi their house and go buy a rental property and lose money on it, or the same people who are going to go out and buy Bitcoin with no research. People that are gullible and just have that herd mentality, they're not card guys. They're just gullible, easy way out people.
Yeah.
Actual hobby people, though, the majority of them do not listen to us, Jeff, anybody, when it comes to, even like the Acuna said, there's a ton of guys listening to this who are going to go, you know what, Acuna's way too high right now, I would never touch him. Or, hey, Trout is generational. I think he is going to be great long-term. And they will do their own thing. They will not be influenced. Now, occasionally, someone will say, oh, you know what, I actually hadn't been paying attention to Ronnie Boy, Acuna, so maybe I should, and they'll go look and make their own decision there. But I just think, like, by and large, the hobby, the people who are still in it today in 2023, if they hear, like, hey, this is the greatest buy out there, the first question in everybody's mind, myself included, is, okay, what are you pumping? Mm-hmm. So I'm then going to look into it. Oh, okay, Kobe cards are down that much? Huh, maybe it is worth it now. I just think when influencer is a term used, or when it's used to say, like, this guy is influencing, is inflating or pumping prices, I'm just kind of like, I know it still happens. Like, I think it happened with the Disney stuff a couple times. Mm-hmm. In sports cards, I think it's a big enough world now, even though it's still a small market. I think most of us kind of like, we're good with that. Like, I don't think people have stuck around the game this long just to wait for someone to say, hey, buy now or sell now. I don't think the world works like that anymore.
I think I've gotten to what my original point was going to be, was that I don't care if you are an influencer or not. If you say that you're pumping this or that because you like it a lot, I don't have a problem with that. Just because you really like something and you tell other guys that you like it, I think my only issue comes when you specifically say, you go buy this now. Like, that would be an issue.
And the issue is, too, if you're saying go do something and you're doing the opposite.
Well, of course.
If I'm, like, for example, I'm saying Acuna I think is a good buy right now because I just bought probably 6 to 8 of them in the last lots I've bought. Mm-hmm. I think he's a good buy. I am putting my money there. But I also think you have to follow through. If I'm going to tell you when he's a good buy, it also then has to be, by the way, I think he's gotten to a price where I'm going to move him. I'm going to start selling his stuff off.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of that happening. A lot of times it's like, here's the catchy thing. This happened, great. And then you leave people. So if you're going to kind of, again, influence people to do something, I do think you at least have to be genuine and follow through with it. So I
don't know. I just like the.
But it also gets way overused. No question.
Yeah, we do need to change topics because this is like, I know there are guys who are cringing and they hate all this talk anyways.
That's fine.
But there is one last thing. It's just that if you like the show, if you like the entertainment, if you like Jeff Wilson because he is always kind and always smiling and he has a great personality for bringing in people who know nothing of cards, great, more power to you. If you like us because you like Mike's sensible take on very little things, and Mike's and Jesse's more average consumerism of brand new sports knowledge, great. I'm so happy for you. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you like. If you like it, great. Stop making other people feel bad about it. That's my biggest issue.
Oh, and I don't have an issue with that. I think it's fine. If you want to take shots because you don't like them, I'm kind of like, yeah, it's fine.
No.
Because but you can't.
Why, though? Why take a shot at someone?
I'll tell you why. Because if you're going to get put on a pedestal, and for us financially, right, because we're in a spot we're getting paid to do this, I think you open in your public figures to a degree. Well, that comes with it. If you don't want to get criticized publicly,
I don't care about us specifically. I'm saying
I'm saying that with anybody who goes out and makes their takes public and has content and makes a name for themselves, makes a check for themselves, whatever it is.
I'm not talking about that though. I'm talking about the guy who goes out there and says, "I like this," and then everyone else jumps on top of it saying, "Well, this is why you shouldn't like it," in all the reasons. That's what we've gotten to now, is that no one can have an opinion and not be criticized for it. That's what I have an issue with.
Social media.
I know. That's why that was my initial question. Was I wonder how many guys listen to this show who do nothing else with social media.